I wanted to be one of these comic relief hillbillies.
Well, I mean, surely there's a theater in Branson with some type of gap that you can sign up to be a show in.
You'd be him.
Ah, who said anything about me?
Okay, well, pick who you wouldn't be.
Oh, okay. The lady. I don't think
You'd be.
Yeah, sure. Why not? He's got more hair on top than I do, but I can grow that hair pattern a-okay with a little bit of spray on or something.
But yeah.
So,
in accordance with what was it? The default payments.
oh yeah, my default payments.
And being on the comic relief squad, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to take up that other job anyway. So, all right. Anyway, yes. Cyber Vengeance. And
Yeah, this has been an item of interest for several weeks now.
yeah, we watched it.
That abruptly turned into something we had to do for one of these.
It was an executive order.
And a review for the dog, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cyber Vengeance and what the other one is, Absolute Aggression.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Absolute Aggression.
And the JCIs is what we're doing.
We affectionately call them JCIs because the name of the man behind both movies is a guy named J. Christian Ingvordsen.
Yep.
So we call him JCI for short.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was. Became fond of him pretty quickly. Yeah, after realizing what these two things were. We knew what Cyber Vengeance was for some years,
Yeah.
didn't we? Because of this compilation that it
Yeah.
was on. I believe was where I first saw it.
Yeah, it was a great... it's actually a great compilation.
Oh yeah, there's other stuff on there.
But yeah, it's...
Corey Feldman's.
the...
Yeah, I remember it, and I remember this Zud-ass virtual reality thing
yeah.
in the Old West and World War II and different
Yeah.
time periods of soldiers in uniforms.
So yeah, basic premise of the movie, that's...
The mid-90s, classic mid-90s spook type thing. Great, mid-90s keyboard score.
Yeah, the score is my favorite. Like, if you're ever in the mood to take a movie seriously, the score will, obliterate any seriousness that was contained within the movie.
Oh man, they're everywhere! They're fucking everywhere, man! I don't know!
Like,
When in doubt,
yeah.
it's relentless. It doesn't stop. So when in doubt, just giggle about the score.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. There's plenty of other things to laugh about in this movie, though.
But yeah, 6 years later,
Mm-hmm.
that happened.
About a month or two ago, I went up to Springfield for interviews and decided to wing by a flea market and just found this and bought
you were
it.
just like walking through.
Yeah, like I bought it on the merit
That
of,
happened to be sitting there.
yeah,
That someone shared or agreed to put in their flea market booth.
yeah, and I bought it because it had Robert Davi on the cover.
Yeah, he counts as a bad movie staple. He's in some of these 90s, yeah.
You never turn down a Davi.
Yeah, he's pretty good standby for some of them.
But I didn't even read the back. We just put it in. I brought it home.
No. Nobody had, as of yet, nobody knew anything about the JCIs.
Brought it.
And Air Boss. You push the wiki button and
Yeah.
the IMDb thing on your own for him.
It was
And what else he's done, but it's J. Christian Ingvordsen that ended up being the director, co-writer, and co-producer of both of them.
yeah, because we were like, as we were watching this, we were like, wow, this seems really familiar.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing as Storm Shadows and Chasers.
Yeah,
What's what it's
exactly.
called? What's it
Yeah.
called? Cyber Vengeance.
Yeah, Troopers. Like,
Cyber Vengeance.
It wasn't even deja vu. Like, we were like, we've seen this exact stuff before.
The same horse, the same soldiers running through the little camp, yeah.
So yeah, we did a little bit of looking on the back of the box, and what the F do you know? It's freaking
Same
JCI.
director. Also starring Robert Downey.
Yeah. So
then you're like, is this a sequel to, you gotta look up what year they were. What are they, 94 and 96?
yeah.
Or we had also seen it say 95
it's-
somewhere for Cyber Vengeance.
Yeah, Cyber Vengeance on the end of the credits says 95.
So,
95 and 96.
the bottom of the credits said 94. I think somewhere else it said 95.
The box. Yeah, right.
But anyway, only 1 to 2 years apart.
Yes. Yeah. And
Little internet research of looking for reviews or the Amazon reviews. I forgot where I read it, but it said something like, unclear as to whether or not it's supposed to be a sequel, extend through some kind of plot, one to the other, or what.
unclear.
But yeah, we think it was pretty clear. It's, pretty clearly just a remake, a second attempt to make the same.
Oh yeah, like it's not even like foggy, opaque glass unclear. It's clear as
yeah.
freaking day. That whether or not this one's for JCI himself, but we kind of think that he may have been ashamed of some of the things in Cyber Vengeance.
Wanting to go back, yeah, that's most of what we want to do today, is to conjecture on what parts, what aspects of Cyber Vengeance he thought were inferior or needed to be gone back, deleted, and redone to better fit whatever his original vision was.
Yeah.
I believe he wrote the screenplay for either one of them, but I believe he was credited for story for both of them.
Yeah.
So it still counts as his kind of pet project.
Yeah, it's a semi-pet project. You share it. Share the pet.
Because you're going through and they both have to do with
future stuff, like
VR prison.
Yeah, VR prison.
A VR future program system involving prisoners.
Yeah.
Being hunted in VR scapes such as your different American wars.
Always American wars, too. No other wars are capable of being represented in VR. But, like, what else? There was,
We've got the same character names.
A lot of
Remember, Robert Downey is Artie Crowley.
Yeah,
I love the
that's
part
right.
in the first one where he says Artie,
Artie.
like ARTIE.
Yeah.
He somehow can't be bothered to say RD Crowley. You think I'm thinking you're talking about this guy's initials when you call him Artie?
Yeah. Guys, or either that or like you're talking about the roast beef sandwich at Artie's. But
I think it was the poor man's Eric Bana that said it that way. I was like,
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
to talk, you freaking moron.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you go through, what's his name? Heinz. Remember the guy that I thought it was supposed to be Hans?
No, it's Heinz.
But
yeah.
it actually ended
It
up
actually
being the
was.
name Heinz for ketchups.
I'd like to present some of my associates. Heinz Dietrich, one of the preeminent industrialists of our time.
Heinz Dietrich.
Played by Jay Christian himself. Totally cool. Man in a wheelchair in both movies.
Yeah.
Same name.
Yep. And the protagonists were shared too.
Yeah, they're both somehow named Will and Stu.
Will and Stu.
Your secondary guy is named Stu.
There's no.
Same thing. It's the same last name, Will Singleton, I think, or if they gave Stu a last name. Two different main guy co-heroes.
Yeah.
In both films, there is a group of 4 main protagonists.
Yeah.
Two main ones and 2 secondary.
Yeah, they swap out the secondaries.
Yeah, those 2 change from movie to movie.
Yeah.
That you flip a coin as to whether or not you like them more.
Yeah.
But,
whether or not you want to see discount Angelina Jolie or the blonde girl.
talking about who you thought would look like Halle Berry?
Halle Berry Angelina Jolie.
The short-haired lady.
Kind of like a blend together. But, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, and the other one had the lady with the long blonde hair.
Yeah.
So part of the Commandos.
But,
and what's his name, man? But yeah, it's a really great time going through the two of these.
Yeah.
Comparing and contrasting. And conjecturing what about the first one he didn't like when it was finished / released in 94/95.
Mm-hmm.
For him to basically immediately go on to redo it.
Oh, yeah.
And have the other one have the date 96 attached to it.
Knowing the filmmaking process, he didn't wait too long to...
Because read the blurb on either one of them, read the little synopsis, same exact thing.
Same thing.
Something, VR prison system in a dark, something else, sinister Robert Davi man.
You really got to pay attention to, like, the differences in the plot.
Takes place. That's right, I forgot about our different dates.
Yeah.
It's funny if you're accidentally thinking or pretending to accidentally think they're continuity and canon.
Oh yeah,
in a sequel in a title in a second part 2 sequel.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Because the first takes place in 2005.
Yep.
Correct. This one takes place in 2011.
And it's the exact.
And then you're supposed to wonder why they don't remember each other.
Exactly. Well, it could be.
Did we do this 6 years ago, guys?
Yeah, it could be like part of the synaptic overload. Like whenever you take off the VR goggles,
memory wipe.
You're not supposed to remember.
Or that one of them had, maybe one didn't count as real world, and then the other one, yeah.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
Maybe there was some kind of
but we're
stasis hemorrhage, and then you get the synaptic seepage.
Yeah.
And then you get like a what's it called?
A reboot.
Program inversion,
Oh yeah, and then you leak your, So...
sim level collapse, to where one of them ends up not counting as real.
It's, again, going back, it's almost clear as day. Clear as heck. Clear as whatever.
That he just redid his other project.
Yeah, like...
Wait a minute, I want to go back with other actors.
Yeah.
And reuse some of those same sets, props, costumes, locations. I love the reusing of the...
Oh, yeah.
One thing looks like a castle, one kind of looks like an old fort that they used for an American French-Indian War or whatever. Yep. Or War of 1812. Whatever the one's got the natives and the colonists, the redcoat-looking guys.
Yeah.
That beautiful nighttime footage that's used 3 times, or that location is used 3 times.
Yes.
For the Haywires, for the escape, and then the Haywires, and then the other one is used for like a World War II.
Yes.
With a bunch of bad Nazi costumes.
Terrible Nazi costumes.
And guys going around in different looking hats and different looking...
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was great. I kind of wish they would have reused the speakeasy, but that's just me being partial.
Oh, it was the 20s!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool because they walk out, it's formatted like an Eastern speakeasy, and then they walk out of the speakeasy and they're right in a Western, a small town, if I remember right.
Oh, like Casablanca taking place in Tunisia?
Yeah, imagine that. Another movie that pays homage to Casablanca.
The great C. Thomas Howell and Big Fall vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And wait, they didn't reuse that in
not the
Absolute Aggression? Okay. I guess I didn't notice.
If I remember right, they reused the Western town, but I don't think they reused the speakeasy. But you have to pay attention to like the movie flow and the plot differences as to what he thought would be an improvement or what we think he thinks. Like the biggest one for me is the fact that that first act in Cyber Vengeance, so slow.
Yes. Yeah, that needs pointed out because of, when I was going through it before, when we had our refresher. And I think we both agreed that right around the first 30 minutes worth, first act is dismaying, by golly.
Yeah, you could take out about 15 to 20 minutes of that and have it still be perfectly equal.
Yeah, there were large chunks of it that made me lose my humor and enjoyment value.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, get this over.
It does start picking up in the second act, though. So
him, the lame Will guy walking around being buddies with prisoners that he's not supposed to be buddies with.
yeah,
The company and his girlfriend, who is also an employee, blaming him for spending too much time talking to the inmates. And that's our great establishment of what.
Yeah.
You work for the program. We do not want you to show one single prisoner any respect whatsoever. They do not deserve respect. Understood? Understood?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
A pointless VR sex scene.
Oh yeah, just to have one. Yeah.
What happens? You open with the fight with the numerous guys.
Yeah.
And your idiot thing where the other guy is stuck being forced to hold a hot water.
Yeah.
And burn his hands to not accidentally pour the water on the hostage lady below him.
Yeah. Now remember
if Will beats these other 5 men, remember what?
Yeah. Remember the boss of that?
That's the only saving grace of the first act.
Yeah.
Is the fact that this involves Matthias Hughes.
Just hold on a little bit longer.
Hold on, princess! I'm coming!
Not unless you jump.
Yeah.
As a fighting mini-boss, and he has one line. They give him a line.
Yeah, good for him. Anytime he gets to say stuff is a good day in my book.
Didn't we both? We both had a total huge crap to take on the first act of Cyber Vengeance.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All except for
Yeah.
Matthias.
Yeah, Matthias Hughes can be on this like little section of the DVD, and then we can just take a dump on it.
Especially if it's back in the 90s.
Yeah. 90s Matthias.
I'll be like, dude, Matthias Hughes is in this movie?
Yeah. So... But yeah,
sadly that he could not be brought back in any capacity for the second one. So already you're looking at these interesting nuances of difference.
It's a loss.
Because whereas you would say, yeah, they needed to throw that first act in the trash, it also involves Matthias. So then you're
conflicted.
Thinking back at the fact of, wait a minute, no, that's an automatic freaking great, awesome win.
Yeah, like it's the one literal.
So
saving.
you instantaneously bemoan or at least wonder.
Yes.
Why/how JCI and them couldn't get Matthias for the second one.
Yeah, but as far as Cyber Vengeance goes, it does pick up in the second act when they start loading up all the different.
Yeah, once they introduce the 3
programs.
clients, you have your basic format of
Yeah.
what the set pieces and scenes are with the fighting.
Yeah.
4 good guys.
And,
or 3 good guys and 1 lame idiot creep asshole.
Yeah.
And then the Robert Davi man plus the 3 rich hunter clients.
Yeah. It's kind of like
you always got your rich, evil VR clients.
Dangerous game nod.
And who were they? We talked about poor man's Eric Bana.
Eric Bana
that was one of the other employees that was a prick to our hero.
A southern man that we actually do need around anymore.
Oh, Turdy.
Yeah,
yes,
Turdy.
There was a Turdiment in here. Normally I have to restrain and refrain from overusing the moniker, but this fellow really had it coming. The blonde, handlebar mustache.
Oh, yes.
Southern gentleman.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it, but very good.
Personally, Mr. Traven, I don't give a damn about what you would or would not have done. However, in appreciation of my largesse, I would hope that you gentlemen would let me choose the next scenario.
Southern gentleman. Yeah.
With your great fake Southern accent, everything is...
Not a big fan.
Everything is supposed to be like a courtroom Southern lawyer.
Yeah. And, let's see.
Why not owe it to Mr. Plantation Man to afford me the honor of this tournament.
Yeah.
Which, it's one of those things, kind of like the guy with the spiked hat in Retrograde. It's one of those things where you're so irked at him that it actually.
Oh, it helps you.
If you can just see a speck of humor, it actually turns enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because you have this just
Monster.
natigously crap character that you want to just throw tomatoes and lettuce at.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then what was our third one? GCI himself.
Yeah,
I forgot.
GCI.
He's a man that is for whatever reason in an automatic wheelchair in both installments.
Stu, grab a sword.
Did you call me in here just to lecture me?
Even though it's a man who can walk in real life.
Yes.
And in both movies, in VR worlds, he of course walks.
He walks, yeah. But
So for whatever reason, he's in a wheelchair in both films.
yeah. And it's great, because, I mean, I always like seeing the man himself in a project. It's always nice, humbling. But
And then what was our difference for the other hero group?
the hero group,
It was that Kale guy. I forgot his last name. Kale Henderson or Kale Thompson.
yeah,
The big old tall blonde guy.
they swap him out
And then
for
Stu was that kind of shorter, chubbier guy with the facial hair.
yeah,
And
that's
then the
right.
blonde girlfriend that does the pointless making out.
Mm-hmm.
And then who was our fourth man? Oh yeah, the miniature Mick Fleetwood Jr.
Yeah, Mini Mick.
The long-haired guy with the headband and the hacking expertise.
Yeah.
The resistance Pac-Man.
Yeah, you get to pick whether that's an upgrade or a downgrade from
Yeah.
Cyber.
Whether or not he saw the movie Running Man in the interim and thought, man, I should make this more like Running Man.
Yeah,
And put a pseudo Mick Fleetwood
yeah,
Jr.
He may have went on a Schwarzenegger bend after
and say something like,
making Cyber.
we are blowing central to the hack frame, baby!
Yeah,
One of those type of things where he's got the zany, witty one-liners about hacking.
of course.
3, 2, 1, boom. Nuke 'em to the Stone Age, baby!
Yeah, taking your system back to 1984.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And then what was other man? It was a second tall, blonde,
yeah,
white guy that was one of the bad guy henchmen. Remember, it was JCI and the other tall
the
blonde
other
guy
tall blonde guy
from the
yeah.
jousting or whatever it was.
Yeah, the joust tournament where you have
Let's see. Oh, they added a female assassin. Remember, she wasn't inside.
Yeah, that's right.
It was like, we need another attractive female.
Here's to old friends.
Not only for a cat fight, but for
plot.
what's it called? No, well that too, but a nude scene.
Oh yeah, because she has her own.
She's sent on a mission
Yeah,
to do seduction.
yeah, she does have her own nude scene. I forgot.
Anyway, you go through as you do, and this pair is just really, really fun to watch a second time, both times, and
Yes.
think, okay, well, there's actual reuse of shots, which I don't believe there was.
No,
Did you see any identical shots?
nothing
For
exact.
what I could remember, and what
It's funny because
some of which I could remember, but they were clearly the same location.
yeah, this is the type of stuff where you actually could get away with using the exact same footage from the last movie. But JCI decided, let's just reshoot the entire thing using the same sets. Because I remember the Colonial Wars, I remember the World War IIs.
Might have been
They were exactly the same. But the shots
unused from the filming of Cyber Vengeance,
Or it
then
could be also
brought
that
back
too.
out and used for
yeah, it could also
the
be
second, but they weren't identical.
It could be the B cuts from Cyber Vengeance.
Because the one bit is where at the end of this climax where the system goes haywire
Yeah.
and the time periods blend, so you see examples of every major American war all running back and forth in the same nighttime
Yes.
escape that they had otherwise used for, ostensibly used for the World War II.
Yeah.
Twice. You used a total of 3 times.
Used the total, yeah. That's right.
Haywire, escape from headquarters, or escape from the bad guys' central prison facility, and then used for World War II. Remember the riding along on the 4-wheeler that they made sound like an airplane?
Oh, yeah.
Can't shoot you on it. Can't shoot you on it.
They're not even driving in the same direction.
No, they go this way.
To contrive a plot reason for that. Oh, well, they had to keep circling back to try to throw off the tanks and the bad guy soldiers. Whatever. Anyway, it just... Remember? Sounded like a freaking airplane going by.
Yeah, I remember that.
Freaking 4-wheeler.
How do you forget that?
And it pads. They use that for
that's it. That was
every cent
15 to 20 minutes
of what they put in to be able to use those.
Yeah, the chaos budget.
Yeah, just over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh shit! They threw a grenade at that tank. You're gonna throw something else.
Yeah. Same exact
Second
sound.
one has noticeably more padding in it. I remember the second one. I remember Absolute Aggression taking longer to wrap up. Remember?
Yeah.
It's a fight. It's what you think is a final fight. Then there's another fight after that. Then there's another fight after that.
See, it's great because with the level of interest, you can plot it out where Cyber Vengeance kind of does this, where you go low and then high.
The excitement in the plot. Yeah.
And then Absolute Aggression would follow like a linear thing, where it'd be like, okay, the beginning stays a little more interesting than Cyber Vengeance, but then it sacrifices for a less awesome climax at the end.
Yeah, there's rip roaring, but near the climax it kind of goes into like 3 different sub-climaxes.
Yeah.
Or climaxes, or whatever you're supposed to say.
Yeah, whereas the climax of Cyber Vengeance was very clear.
The first one felt like it wrapped up.
Yeah, so...
But yeah, I love reusing. He is I hate to just say Roger Corman every time. But you can say definitely in the spirit of the Cormanism.
Yeah. A true subscriber of Cormanism.
And you gotta put a by golly in there. You gotta say, by golly, we're using them.
We're
reusing these same locations, costumes,
actors,
props, and sets. Yeah. Remember all the musket loading?
Oh, there was a lot of
There's large amounts that take place at forts with colonial guys and these tomahawk porting natives.
Yeah, I'd venture to say that maybe 5 minutes of Cyber Vengeance and 10 minutes of Absolute Aggression were full of nothing but loading muskets.
Yeah, you got guys,
because you have to jam it,
pour in what is obviously nothing into different parts of the gun. One guy pours it in here and then pours it back here by the cock hammer.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, where does it actually supposed to go? Yeah, there's people, of course you have to McFargle on it. Of course you have to take the jammer and
whack it. Give it a good whack. Yeah. So, I mean, absolute gold mine either way you go. Although Absolute Aggression kind of suffers from the loss of Matthias Hughes. But
it's the one that doesn't have Matthias.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's...
They saw fit to bring the other 2 tall, cool, large, blonde guys into the athletics in.
The other 2.
Or whether that was just because the 2 main protagonists from the first movie were little shorter, skinnier, white guys that didn't represent any kind of action hero type look visually.
Yeah, but like
the other 2, the 2 from the other.
But
the guy looks so much more athletic and it's like a Dolph Lundgren.
Oh yeah. But
And Top Guns, we evolved from biplanes in World War II's to the straight-up jet fighters of the mid-'80s in Top Gun.
Yeah.
Remember, they're fighting a MiG and everything.
Yeah, it's, they're not stuck in the past when it just comes to the planes. Like, freaking...
Remember, he gets the hang of it in a matter of 1 minute.
1 minute, yeah.
He's like, okay, now do this.
No flights.
What's a jet? Hundreds and hundreds of switches.
Yeah.
A bunch of, what's they're called? Gauges and things.
I'm pretty sure jets don't even have an autopilot, so you can't coast on autopilot. But, yeah, like as far as sci-fi schlock, either one of those, they're about, like, for me, they're about on the same level. Like, but
yeah, a fellow making with the same resources
Yeah.
and some of the same freaking people.
But it is indeed quite clear that they're not. One of them is not a sequel or a prequel. We didn't do a freaking
Yeah, whatever he
Ridley
didn't
Scott.
like about the first one,
Yeah,
he went back and basically attempted to redo
yeah.
Cyber Vengeance.
But I mean, that's the thing is it counts. The pluses are as abundant as the misses. So like one
Yeah,
is clearly not superior over the other.
Different and distinct enough to each other, and both have enough saving grace
Yeah,
throughout.
where you watch them both.
As you make your way, in the case of the first one, like we were saying, as you made your way past the nightmarishly boring and bad first act,
Yeah,
and then the other one as you slog through the padding of the end.
oh yeah. So
They kind of complement each other.
Yeah, it's kind of like this. Yeah. So, yeah, you watch them both.
I'll be interested to look at Air Boss and whatever other things that JCI put out.
Air Boss.
Yeah, whatever Air Boss is. Something to do with jet fighting or planes or something.
Okay.
I forgot what exactly it was.
Because see, I thought it would be like
Called Air Boss.
Air Bud. I thought it would be like another.
I don't know which came. I don't know when that's from. 95. Air Bud is from sometime in the 90s.
Yeah. But just as long as it's not another dog that plays soccer. That's all I gotta say. We've had plenty of soccer playing dogs.
What is this thing that has an afro? What is that?
Is that one of those feather things?
Giant circular headset. Okay, you look at it and see whether or not it says or it looks like feathers.
Those are definitely feathers. However,
The big circular head.
Processing prisoner transfer. Have a good game.